Allison and Cat, welcome back. We had you guys on separately last year when we were just kind of beginning. And it was funny because I had you guys on for two totally separate things, and you ended up and you spoke about it a little bit, the UPP conference, and now you guys have merged and are creating a super huge, amazing UPP. So I want to talk to everyone about that, but I also want everyone to get a little bit of update of where you guys are now. It's almost been a year. So Allison, let's start with you.
Thank you for having us back.
Ooh.
The Retail Horde podcast people are so nice. They just love you so much. Everyone that is a guest and your listeners are just so kind. So we're thrilled to be back. So thank you for having us. My name's Allison Carter, and I own a company called Allison Carter Celebrates, and I help with visibility and personal branding and just making money on the internet while showing up as yourself. I help small businesses with their PR and pitching themselves, content creation, all that fun stuff. And I am the co-host of the best event ever to be created in the whole entire world, Product Party.
I am Cat, you're follow that one up now.
I don't know. I'm out.
Really fast. Allison, you were doing a box.
Last time I was here, I owned a subscription box company. So I have had a major pivot. So for 6 years, my business is going to be 6 in the end of February. So for that first 5.5 years, I was running a holiday and celebration empire and really just making a name for myself in that space. I was doing a lot of media contributions to outlets like Martha Stewart and Better Homes and Gardens, just really kind of helping with celebration tips. And I had a subscription box that was all holidays and celebrations done for parents to pull out and celebrate whatever holiday was that month. And I did decide to close that side of my business. UPP was a huge catalyst in making that decision because my gut just felt like my heart wasn't in it anymore. My interest wasn't fully in it anymore. And even though it was the biggest revenue driver of my business, I just kept being pulled to walk away from it and really lean into what I'm doing now in the coaching space. I have a membership called the Basic Pitch Club. I host retreats, doing the events, and it just, everything feels more aligned than it ever has before. And it just was the right decision. So really scary, had a full identity crisis, a lot of therapy over the summer. And now I've just emerged as a new beautiful butterfly doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, I always say if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. And obviously shutting down one avenue, especially a revenue generating end of it, and then starting something new. I mean, it wasn't new because you'd already had one UPP, but that's major. And to follow what you love is a huge lesson as well to everybody. What sign are you for human design?
Generator.
Okay.
What are you, Michelle?
Manifesting generator.
Yes.
So you are Cat too, manifesting?
You know what your lines are? I'm a 3-5.
You know what? I suck in that sense because I don't know what my lines are. And there's two people I follow, and she always brings up, there's this number in your thing. I'm like, oh my God, I need to go back to Erin Claire did my reading. I'm like, I need to go back to Erin Claire to have her tell me, like, because I don't understand how to read the chart. I can just tell you I'm a manifest generator. And honestly, like, it is so dead on, especially about following what gives you joy and what listening to your gut and what doesn't give you joy, and walk away. Because I walked away from a couple people last year, and it was like, the no guilt, and actually felt really good. Obviously, Allison did the same thing. And it's like, there's something about following what drives you versus feeling like you have to keep doing it because it's either successful or because everyone expects you to.
Yeah. And I'm literally incapable of working at something if I'm not interested in it or care about it or feels good. And so I just shut down. But if I'm so excited, then I'm like, let's go. So.
Well, you can tell you're so excited just watching your Instagram, and like, congratulations on booking 100% of Palm Springs. Is it Palm Springs?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
You know your shit, Michelle. I'm like the back. Yeah, I love that.
Well, I follow you guys on Instagram. So, I mean, I really follow. That's the thing. It's like people follow everybody all the time, but I really follow and I'm really interested. So I'm
Thank
glad
you.
it shows.
Thank you. Yes, it was a big deal. I'm really, really proud of myself. I was totally scared and nervous about putting that out. And it was really the first big offer that I was like, this is 100% me. And rejection means they don't like me. And I was like so scared of that, but it worked. It worked and people are coming and I'm so excited.
Well, you guys put out both because you obviously are putting it out for UPP space, and then you double down and put it down for, this other space. I mean, that's a lot of commitment. For people that don't know, that is a lot of money to secure the space and people and insurance and all that stuff.
Yeah. 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 Who knew how much money? Surprise.
Go big or go home.
Exactly.
Go big or go home. Okay, Kat, go ahead and talk about yourself now. You're dying to.
Yeah, I'm like, Allison.
And Miss Cat, do tell. I want to know because I follow you. I just asked you if you did the show circuits. You did not. It sounds like you're very happy not to have done them, but you don't have to do the show with a product-based baseline. And it's like to watch your success and like also listen to people, how many people love you as well that I talked to during the show circuit that I just got off of. So tell everyone where you're at.
So I am Cat Hildner. I own the business Kitty Meow Boutique. It's not a crazy cat line, but it's a collection of kind of sexy, funny, and edgy, but sometimes sweet paper party and gift goods that I sell in over 1,000 stores all over the world. I'm also passionate about helping other product-based business owners get their products sold in boutiques wherever their little hearts desire. And I'm a mom of 3 little rascals in the Chicagoland area. And then Allison and I kind of just fell into this grandiose idea for an event for product-based business owners, and we pulled it off, and now we're like, okay, this is a thing, let's make it legit, and it's a corporation and like all these things. And it's been so wild and crazy and magical, and I'm just along for the ride.
She's driving the bus. She's not just along.
I don't know how you guys do this because I know
we don't either.
My schedule's been nuts, but I have dogs and a husband that I don't know if you saw him pop his beer, but I don't have kids, and you both have kids, and you both are doing your main hustle, and then now you're creating this. So that's major kudos to you guys, because that is some major hustle.
Yes, thank you. It is. We're supposed to record a podcast for our new Ultimate Product Party podcast today, all about that. And I have a kid home sick from school, and she's upstairs in my bed with a fever and like just wants mom. And so we didn't record that episode so I could be on this podcast episode.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
What she needs. And so, it's this constant, I need to be here for this, and I need to be here for them, and I need to be here for my husband, and I need to be here for myself, and all of the things. And it is really hard. But we've learned a lot throughout the years in building these businesses. And as our kids get older, there's becomes a little bit more flexibility and understanding, but it's a lot to juggle, and it's a lot of balls in the air at all times.
Because you both are coaches, because Kat, you're coaching product-based people as well. And it's like, that's, you guys have got a lot on your plate. So I will say, so I'm going to step back and talk a little bit about the last UPP that I went to. That was the first time, like, I wasn't shy in saying, like, I've never been to one of these events. And I went with one of my clients who has a store, and she's, I think, creating a product as well. So, but I will tell you, like, they're going into an event, like at my age, I think I'm one of the older people that were there at 57, all these like really young, like vibrant, super, like,
okay, can we just take a step back here and appreciate how sexy and hot you are?
She's like so freaking hot. Like,
change your language.
California goddess over here. I'm like,
out of town.
Well, you will see when you get to this age that when you go into an arena of like something like that, where like it was a little daunting, I guess. And I was like sort of insecure, and like, which is why I didn't even take my headshot, because I was like so feeling insecure and whatnot. But I will say, like, it was one of the most amazing things I decided to do for me. And that's why I think I wanted to have you guys back on, not only because of, I mean, it's no joke, like how many people we've had out of EPP that were just either a speaker or was one of the people at the round table, or like Anna and Pookie and the I Do Box that were part of the event as a guest, like I was. But, you know, for anybody that's out there that is thinking about just growing a little bit in your own self. And for me, it was like growth, like I'm going to go and get uncomfortable. And that's the first thing I tell my clients, like, you're going to need to get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it doesn't feel like that for everybody else, but for me, that's what it did for me, was really expand me going out into my uncomfortable phase. And what a fucking gift, like meeting all these insane women, you guys, but hearing all these stories, and like, it was so inspiring, and it was so much fun, and it went so fast. And I didn't even partake in a lot of the outside things that were going on. But I mean, when I heard your guys knew the new location for it, and I'm going to have you guys talk about that in a second, but I mean, talk about a kick-ass venue. Like, that is going to be so much fun. I so wish I could be there, but unfortunately, I think my show schedule is going to be ramping right back up during that time.
Yeah, that's cancel the event.
I would like to. That would be called
Reschedule.
I
We'll
would
reschedule for you.
I mean, I am so excited to watch it through you guys. And if there's any inkling that I will have a chance of a window of time to go, I will be the first person to do it, because it was such a great, I mean, I can't talk about it enough about what an amazing, and it's like, again, like every person that has listened to this podcast has listened to me drone on and on about it, because it really was such a great experience. So talk to me a little bit about the premise of it, for those who don't know what it was about, the premise of the event, and talk a little bit about what last year looked like and what this year's going to look like.
I mean, big premise. Okay, so Ultimate Product Party is a 2-day in-person event. We switch up the location every year. Last year we did Scottsdale. This year we are doing Nashville. But it really doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. We are geared towards product-based business owners. But like, when you run a small business, you're wearing all of the hats. You are the bookkeeper. You are the accountant. You are the post office person. You're the packager. You're the designer. You're like, literally, you're the bathroom cleaner. You're all the things. So you don't come to Ultimate Product Party to learn how to clean the bathroom, but you will learn all of the facets that it takes to grow a profitable and sustainable product-based business. And Allison and I, we met at a creative conference, and, you know, in our journey and our friendship together, we've been to so many different conferences, not like together, but just synchronicities. We both happen to be at these events, and we'd always be the ones in the room raising our hands, like, how does this apply to product-based business? Okay, this is a sales funnel, but it's for service providers. Like, how would that work for product? And like, no one freaking knew. So as our friendship grew, and I actually joined Allison's mastermind, we just got this crazy idea, and then we pulled it off, and we're like, no more guessing for product-based business owners. Let's create something where they can come, scale, network. I mean, I could go on and on, but Allison, take the charge.
Yeah, we just really wanted to fill that gap, because we were just annoyed, and we were like, this is not fair. This is just annoying. And we want to create a space where everybody can get their question asked or answered, like that somebody will be able to be like, oh, yes, you have this like profit margin thing. I did that. This is my like solution for you. Try it out. And when we were building out this event, we really laid everything out on the table. Like, what about events do we love? What about events don't work? Like, that is not the best. What can we pick and choose from things that we have really thought were successful and fun? And how can we make this event fun? And how can we make it learning and valuable and all about connection and friendship and relationship building, while also coming and learning the skills and strategies that you need to get to whatever that next goal is. So maybe you have visibility as a goal. So you're going to be able to talk about your content, like what kind of content to be selling on using your Instagram stories to sell. What should you be posting on TikTok? What email funnels do you need to have in place for a welcome sequence, a nurture sequence? What PR pitching strategies do you need to do for gift guides? Like, or if you want to diversify your revenue, let's go down the wholesale side. Let's talk about your packaging. Like, let's talk about selling on different platforms. Like, we really want to hit those different struggles and issues that product-based business owners face that are different from a lot of the struggles that just typical online business owners face. Like, we have been that friend in the friend group that everyone is a small business owner. We're all mom bosses, whatever, but then we're the only product person. And so our friend group can't understand why it's a big deal that USPS forgot the porch pickup, or they don't understand that, oh yeah, I made $100,000, but really I like didn't make any money for my family because the profit margin on a product-based business is like we're sad. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you had your $17 million launch on your course that you created one time and get to sell 50,000 of. And I'm like packing boxes and cutting yarn and like trying to get them out on time. Like, yeah, it's just different. And so when you have that space that other people in the room get your life, there's nothing more impactful and powerful than that.
So I want to, for those who are listening, because the majority of people, we do have product people that listen to us, but the majority of people who listen to are retailers. And I can say for this, obviously, I went with the intention of, because I was creating the platform, and that's a whole nother story. But my takeaway was so much, it wasn't even product-based information. It was SEO. It was funding. It was, I mean, there is so much there that retailers can take away, but by far and large, it's the experience of spending 2 afternoons with a room full of super smart women that are entrepreneurs that all have something different to bring. But being in that room was amazing. So you had touched on things that you didn't want to do that give me an example of what you experienced that you didn't want to reproduce at your event.
Let's see. So we wanted
not to put you on the spot.
Oh, we got a lot of them.
We're good. So not staying in the same seat for like hours on end. That was important to us because I've been to conferences and I'm like, my ass really freaking hurts. I need to move around. And just having it be like boring and drag on because they're cramming so much information in a short amount of time. So we want to keep the energy up, keep people moving and grooving. Give them time to talk and connect, because the cornerstone of every single business is always going to be relationships. So you need to have time to build those relationships and really have conversations with people. I mean, food was a big thing for us. Alcohol was a big thing for us, not because we're raging alcoholics, but because this is a party. And what is a party without a spicy margarita? I mean, not a party I want to go to.
And you had non-alcoholic for those who did not want to partake.
And we love people who don't drink.
Yes, we're not shoving, shotguns down people's throats. Like, it's not that kind of party. That happens in the back, but you don't have to go. The other biggest thing for us was we hate the vibe of conferences where the speakers are at a level that the attendees are untouchable. And the speakers come on stage and then they leave, or they don't participate, or they're like, I'm the fancy speaker and no pictures. And
you never see them again.
And so you're not able to ask a follow-up question or approach them. And so we were like, we don't play that game. We don't like how there's a speaker green room or something like that. No, thank you. You are coming and you get to interact with everybody and you get to participate also in learning how to build your business. And so we're very, very intentional with the speakers that we choose. They're all under contract of they're participating, they're attending sessions, they're eating lunch with everybody, they're interacting, they're part of the experience. So you have access to them. You have the ability to pull them aside and ask a question, sit outside on the patio, enjoy your coffee in the morning and talk about your business and ask for feedback. I mean, whatever it is that you need, or you're in your session and you ran out of time and couldn't ask a question, like hit them up at snack time. Like,
Did you have any pushback from anybody on that?
No, I can't think
No.
so.
No?
And we're so open about how we run our business and the kind of vibe we want to attract that I think we really attract people who just like get it. We're serious about making money and we're serious about being business owners, but we're also down to earth and just fun and want to like have a good experience. And I think putting that out there, all the behind the scenes that we show, really attracts people who also have those same values.
I will tell you the thing that I mean, I seriously, Renee was like the most amazing MC, and the story of you, and I hate to put you on the spot. It's the story of you and your outfit, because you guys were on stage every day. I mean, you know, and same thing as like, you know, anybody on stage, you've got 100+ people there that you're on camera, you still have to be hair and makeup or whatever. But, you know, I'm sure getting dressed for an event, it was like, I mean, okay, my outfit the first day was a fucking nightmare, but I mean, no, do you remember it had it had giant puffy sleeves. It was like the Elaine dress, only in black. It was sleeves. No, it was extreme. But I mean, picking out outfits for that, it was like, yeah, there's a certain amount of pressure on it. Like, you want to look super cute, like you want to represent. So you have to tell the story of your outfit debacle, Cat, that I think it was the second day of the event.
Day 2.
Oh yeah. And I told Renee to share that story because that is our vibe. Like, we're not coming on like, oh, we're so perfect. And yeah, we want to be polished and put together and be taken seriously. But shit happens. And that's what makes this whole journey and adventure funny, is to be relatable and to be able to like laugh at yourself. So, okay, I bought this like so gorgeous. I could just get so upset thinking about it. My little kitty meow heart broken, shattered to pieces. So it was this like pleated, like white chiffon jumpsuit from Alice and Olivia, and it had these like chain link straps. So I mean, now that I'm kind of talking about it, it sounds a little cheesy, but it was beautiful. Okay, just take my word for it. And
well, it's Allison and Olivia, so say no more to that. So
right, I felt like I had to say that. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for understanding me.
Of course,
people will get
that.
So we're getting ready in our Airbnb, and
because you guys all stayed together. That's another thing that I wanted to point out, that you guys all were together, housing together, which I think was amazing, and just kind of kept that I don't know, energy going amongst the presenters.
Yeah.
Well, we were staying with, we stayed with Hillary and Renee, and then one of the photographers, Vanessa, and then the two of us. And we're staying, it's a little smaller this year because it was a lot of energy to go back to, like a house full of people. But yes, the Cat and I, for sure, we needed space because we needed an Airbnb to like, we were putting out wrapping paper on boards and like doing flower arrangements in the backyard. So like we couldn't have a hotel room. Like we were like working at the thing. But Cat was like duct taped together this whole like couple days. She was sick. She was like,
oh, I didn't even know that.
Were, like propping her up on a stick and like, come on, Cat, show up and perform. So it wasn't just the outfit. Like she had some stumbling blocks along the way.
Allison was like giving me all of her essential oils to like drink. I'm like, do I put this on my wrist? Do I drink this? I don't know. So this outfit, I couldn't get it zippered in the back. And it was like a really sheer white material. I was wearing like a nude colored thong. And I had these like little pasty gel thingies on my boobies because you couldn't wear a bra with it. And it was like open in the back and kind of like low cut in the front. So, but you know, like I still need to be somewhat covered up. These big boobs aren't what they used to be, let me tell you. So I couldn't get this thing zipped up. I was like worried that everyone was going to get like their little makeup fingers on the back, you know, just that rubs off.
And we're late by this point also.
We were
by
late.
the way.
We were
Oh my
probably
God,
like the
to
last
add
ones
to
at
the
venue.
nerve factor.
Yes.
Allison's like, we don't have time for this. You need to change your outfit. I'm like, it's fine. We're going to get it together. So like took it off. Then I'm just like standing in this Airbnb and just my underwear and these little boob pasties, and then got it to zip on its own. Okay. So put it back on, finally got it to zip. And then this little string-a-ling ding here that was like holding the two things together, just like beep, undone. And Allison's like,
hello.
you cannot wear
No
that.
turning back.
No turning back. I'm like, we can try to sew it. And she's
Oh my
like,
God.
no. Off. So I had to wear a dress that I wore at dinner the evening before with my mastermind ladies, which sounds like no big deal, but to my fashion hearted soul, I mean, that was just like a no and a total sin. And it was like,
Yep.
Because you're
not
the
what I
fashionista for sure.
It was a hard moment. Like it was
there
hard
tears?
to witness.
Were there tears?
No, I was just like,
No,
show must
it
go
was just
on.
like I already posted a picture of Instagram. I'm with me in this outfit. I can't wear this outfit, and we're all like, okay, like we get it. Like if this were me, if the tables were turned, I would be having like I would be dying. But like we were just at this point we're like people are like arriving and we need to allow go, so we just need to figure it out. And you look adorable, and like everybody give compliments to Kat, like look how pretty she looks, she's so
You are a
pretty, like
jerk.
get out the fucking
Like,
door, like
your feelings don't matter. Okay, let's go. Vamonos.
Put the dress on and get in the fucking car.
Yeah, but then Renee shared that whole story online, and how Kat
Hilarious.
had her like fake chicken cutlet tits out, and like
Right.
something was going on in the ass also of that jumpsuit, and it wasn't it.
So it sounded like it worked out after all. Like the dress was like the universe giving you a sign, like, not today, sister, not
It looked
today.
adorable. The dress that you had was so cute.
Well, this year I'm bringing the heat, people.
Have
Okay?
you already chosen outfits and wardrobe? I mean, we're a few months out from this, so
No, that'll be April's
now.
problem. We actually this year, something new though, which you will appreciate, is because you mentioned like dressing for this is like kind of like, what am I gonna wear? Like they're a vibe, it's a party, like we want to show up like looking our best. And so we've actually, one of our speakers is a stylist, and so she's doing a kickoff call for ticket holders for outfit help. And so she's gonna come on, she's going to do some teaching, it's gonna be over Zoom and in a couple weeks, and it's going to be like, let's come on, let's talk about outfit choice, let's talk about confidence, like how you want to put your best foot forward, bring you outfit options, let's like chat through some things. She's going to give some tips and some pointers, and so people will feel a lot more prepared, I think, after that call, and just kind of being like, okay, I got this, I'm going to be confident, I'm going to love how I look, and she's going to be there as a support person. So I think that'll be appreciated.
You're not going to get anything like this, like Tony Robbins things. I'm just telling you right now, there's no stylist. It's going to help you walk you through your, so right there already, it's like, you got me. So because for some reason I'm laying in bed in the middle of the night the other night, and I'm like, I wonder how you do go about creating an event of this size, because like any event that you see influencers doing, whether it be have a breakfast with me or come shopping with me or whatever it is, there's a lot of planning. So take me through a little bit, you don't have to get into the dirty details, but like when you first start talking about this and you're planning now, okay, say for the second one, you already know what you've gone through, you already know what worked and what didn't, like where do you start? The venue, because I know you guys went out to a road trip and you went out to look at all these cool places, like how is that where it starts? And then kind of take us through a little bit of the process of what it's like to create an event like this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think picking a city is a good place to start, because we just randomly picked Scottsdale. I don't even know why. It was like,
because where do you both live?
I'm in Chicago. Allison is in Seattle. So we're not picking places that are close to us. That would be way boring.
That'd be way too smart.
Yeah. Right.
So we're like, what is a location that people actually want to come to? Because if it's in the same location every year, like that's fine. There are events that do that and those are great. But we want to always push the boundaries of encouraging people to step outside their comfort zone. And if UPP is a staple for your schedule for the year, then think of it as like a mini vacation where you're checking out a new city and you're learning new things and meeting new people.
Yeah.
So we're like, Nashville is easy to get to. It's fun. It's where this idea for UPP, was birthed. And instead of just like being overwhelmed by all the awesome cities, I already have my finger on the pulse for next year, and I think you're gonna like it. But let's just pick a city and go from there because it can get very overwhelming. Because then we're like, okay, now we need to go online and look at venues. It's very hard to pick something online. Let's go in person, which we didn't do the first year, but we're like, we need to go the second year and actually check out these places for real.
How fun was that?
So fun.
So fun.
It
Oh
was
my
a
God.
really fun trip. And
How many places did you look at? Because you never really divulged how many places you were looking at. It was like, we're gonna, release the name, like super secrets out. Like I was like, how many places are you going to?
I did a reel. We didn't went to 4. I did a reel as we announced the location, and it was like it showed all the 4 of them, and it was like too small, too far in the middle of nowhere, too similar to last year, and then just right. It was kind of like Goldilocks vibe reel. So we showed a little sneak peek of the thing. So we had 4 on the schedule. So we get to Nashville. We have all this kinds of drama getting there. Shocker for us. Kat's flight is like 1,000,000 hours delayed, like a whole day. So we're just like, she lands so late. She picks an Airbnb literally in the middle of the jungle.
Okay,
like we're
the
gonna get eaten alive.
Airbnb, like
So, I mean, it was like in the middle of nowhere, Murderville, USA. Like, I'm shocked we're alive, like not eaten by some sort of animal. I've never heard sounds like that coming from nature in my whole life. We get like attacked by a bullfrog. So we're like, oh my God, this is hysterical. We don't tell anyone where we are. Like,
not even our husbands.
Yeah, like our families knew where we are, but we didn't tell anyone on social media like where we were. So we were like being intentional by not showing, like signs and different things. And we were just at the new location. So people were guessing like, where are you? Where are you? Where's it going to be? And then we like announced, but we did a couple, and then we realized we need 2 different spaces, like with the amount of movement that our conference has. And so we picked the Clementine Hall, which is just absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. Like it is just beyond this venue that is the UPP 2023 this year in May. It is this refurbished church with this huge stage with this organ. There's this stage that has stained glass behind it that our band that we're hiring for the after party this year is going to come. And so we're turning it into a honky tonk after the event ends to do like a big, like fun dance party afterwards. But there's a back room with a big bar with all the like the round tables are going to be, and it's just impeccably decorated. Like
Sexy.
The owners of the venue have the most incredible taste, and we both walked in and we're like, this is it. Like we freaked out. We were like, we loved it so much. And so that's the start. And then you have to work within the parameters of the venue. And then the hardest part about picking an event at a different state and city every single year is we have to build new relationships. And so we have to, like this year we knew planning an event at this magnitude is really a lot while in a full-time business, and we already have full-time businesses separately. And so we hired event planners this year to be on the working with us at the actual event. So they're technically day of coordinators. They've somewhat helped us along this way, but as we get there, they're really going to be kind of the hands-on deck people for like the go-to of setting the event up.
That's great. And then you guys aren't doing it all. I mean,
no,
which we did last year. Like we literally did everything last year, and we were like, we just don't want to do that because we also want to enjoy this year-long project come to life as a host, but also just like a guest too. Like we want to have fun. We want to go to the sessions. We want to enjoy the lunch, and we don't want to worry about you know, setting up the screen or figuring out like all the stuff. Like we want it to be done. And so we have like more volunteer team. We have the event planners have relationships with the videographers and the photographers and the other people. So they're also used to working with each other instead of just us piecemealing all these people together. And so that's been helpful. We have an assistant this year that has been hugely helpful in just managing our emails and working through all the contracts and making sure everyone's getting paid and logistics for reaching out to sponsors and swag bags. And she is saving our butts 1 hour at a time. Like every single message that she sends to us, Kat and I are like, thank you, Jesus, for sending Tony to us and how helpful she has been. Because as we grow this, we want to remain the creative and the face and the hosts, and this is our event, but we really do want to be able to have a lot of that busy legwork, heavy lifting labor not be on us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, you guys doing it, it's kind of like the hostess that's trying to throw a party and she's in trying to still put hors d'oeuvres in the oven and
Totally.
answer the door and like, you know, like say hi to people. I mean, I mean, I didn't even think about that part of it. Like that's
a lot.
And now you've got like such a big support team. So now that you've got this place located, and how do you go about, because how many roundtables did you have at the last one and how many are you having at this one?
Same, about 20.
So how do you guys go about that process?
Finding the people or
Well, all of it, finding the people, choosing, you know, all of that, like deciding, because I'm sure there's a lot of overlap. Like there's 4 people that do SEO. We love this person because, I mean, so how do you go through that choosing?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it. I think most important for us is we want a dynamic personality because that is very much our vibe and the vibe of UPP. So kind of going through that, it's not always about following, but you know, sometimes it is. And like, what's your outreach? Do we feel like you're going to talk about the event? Do we feel like, no, you're not going to because we're still a new event. So we need to get to as many people as possible. And that doesn't mean tapping out just our network. We need to grow our network by like you have a podcast and then from your podcast, other people know about us and you know, it's all their circle of business. But we go through like, okay, these are the topics that we want. This is what people, they think that they want to hear, but this is what we know that they really need. Even if that's not the stuff that they gravitate towards because it's like boring or it's not their jam. But if you want to run a profitable business, there are certain things that you just can't hide from. So, I mean, there's just so many factors. And I mean, last year we had to beg people to come speak at our event. And this year we like had people come to us. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
A lot of people. Like,
I bet
75 plus applications that like we, you know, and there was a video and that we wanted included in that. And like, we actually had like a legit application and we were like, oh my God, we're so professional. Like, look at us. And then spent hours going through all the applications and watching all the videos and then kind of like, okay, here's our like for sure hands down yes list. Here's our like, we think maybe, here's our like, this is not going to work for us, but then, okay, maybe if there's a spot and could we come back to them and see, maybe that's not the right topic, but maybe we could tweak it in a way that could be like, I mean, it is that speaker choosing and the topic choosing and what you're going to learn is a big process. And that's probably one of the biggest talking hands-on, really being the most intentional with our time and finding the right mix. That's probably is one of the biggest feats of an event like this, is just making sure we have the right mix of topics and of different people. We want different people represented. Like a lot goes into that speaker
I mean, it
lineup.
was hard to choose which one. I mean, there was some that I knew had nothing to do with what I do. So it was like, that was it. But it was sort of hard to choose, you know, you only have X amount of time to how did you guys break up the day? Like three different roundtable hours. And I mean, that
This
was
year
hard
we have
to,
3. Yeah, this year I think you're able to go to 8
because
out of
that was hard, like trying to
18.
figure out which ones. And then, you know, I think partly also because I'm so nosy that I'd be listening to one and I'd be like kind of listening to the one behind me.
Totally. Yeah. So we encourage people, roundtable people, to bring handouts, bring like information that people can get some sort of like free download or something like that. So they're able to follow up. And this year we have like a last call kind of roundtable hour of like, okay, go get the people that you for sure have not been able to get to, or make a note of, try sitting by that person at lunch or something like that. If there's really like a topic that you need, find some place in your day that you can hit that, or make a note to then go follow up with that speaker on Instagram and, you know, introduce yourself and reach out and start building relationship or whatever. And so there's that aspect of it too. But the roundtables, it is like, you have to be intentional about where your goals are as a business owner, and like, what is your plan? What are you trying to come to this event for? Like, what would be the ideal outcome for you leaving this event? And that's how you should be picking those topics and those people to talk to. Like, okay, this sounds really fun and exciting, but it doesn't really like go to my goal. So I should stick with the things that I really need.
I mean, honestly, all of them were so good. And to be honest, like, I think like that's the reason why I wanted to have you guys back on, because, and why I've had so many of the UPP speakers or people that were there, because I think as retailers, a lot of people have said this, retail is very lonely. You sit in a store all day. You go out twice a year to the shows, which we just got done doing, which is amazing. You see all these people, you're so tired, and you walk up and down aisles, but you're out. And then you get all fired up, and then you go back to your store, and then you got to deal with the supply chain and your employees and people stealing and like all of the bullshit that goes on in retail. So I feel like when I purposely kind of started planning, and as the podcast kind of grew, it was like, okay, I want to have retailers talk to retailers, but really I wanted to give retailers tools to help their businesses that I wish I had when I had stores, of like just having access to have a conversation of like SEO or like branding, like docs design, like all of it is, and it's so valuable. So for the people that are listening, that, you know, again, like if you don't have a product base, like these conversations and the lessons that you will learn, you've already heard a ton here on the podcast, but I feel like there's so much to take away, even if there's things that you don't think are really technically for you, but just to be able to have that access and sit there in a round table and listen and ask questions along with other people. I mean, that was half the thing, was like talking to other people. It's like, that's how with Andrea from Anna Pookie was like, so what do you have? What do you have? And it's like just listening to products that they have, like, it was just such a great experience. So take everybody, and because we only have a few more minutes, take everybody like through a day in the life of what it's like to going to be able to, like, from the moment they get there till the day that they leave on Sunday or whatever day this closes.
Oh gosh. Well, real quick, for whatever it's worth, I would argue that a retailer is very similar to a product-based business. It's just a product-based business in a different capacity. You're buying products. Maybe they're not all your products or your products at all, but you're selling products. So things like SEO to sell more products on your website, like that's super valuable, or crowdfunding because maybe you want to open up another shop or do something more with your current shop, but you need the funds to do that. Like all of this stuff really applies, and retailers, they still deal with shipping woes and, you know, taxes, branding, all of that stuff is so important. It's just a different type of sector of a product-based business.
Well, I think like you nailed it on the head, the not so pretty stuff. And I think that you saying that, and that's one thing with Amanda from WOW, is that no one wants to talk about money and the ugly parts and the parts that, you know, quite honestly, a lot of people don't even want to look at, because it's like, what I don't know doesn't really. So I think even not the ones that are not so sexy are probably more important.
Oh yeah. We have everybody is attending a tax workshop, whether they like it or
Ooh.
not. So that's going to
Love
be
that.
that's
Mandatory.
going to be a breakout session, and breakouts mean every single person goes to every single one of them. Amanda's doing a financing workshop as well that everyone will go to, and she's going to make that fun and sexy. And the title of her workshop is Money Like Marry Fuck Kill. So it's going to be good. And so, yeah, like, I mean, there were coaches, there were service providers, there were brick and mortars, there were many like audiences represented last year and this year as well, because all of this stuff, a ton of it is general business in a group that is a crazy supportive, fun group of rad women that all have big, scary dreams, and they're taking action to do it. And just being in that community around that energy in general is beneficial to anyone's business, no matter whether you are the one putting a product in a box or not. And so I think that anyone can find value in the room. We've clearly designed this for product because it is beneficial to also pick a niche, especially when you're in an event space like that. But it very much is going to be beneficial for small businesses in general. So day in the life, we actually just recorded a podcast episode figuring out the timeline, which probably is the second hardest thing outside of speakers to figure out, because the time crunch of those 2 days when we're like, oh crap, they have to eat. Damn it. You need an hour for lunch. Ugh. Okay. Go back to the drawing board, figuring out what that is. So just brief overview of day in the life is you come in, you're going to like meet everybody, mingle.
Start with the pre-event. Start with the pre-event.
Oh, the pre-event. We do have a happy hour this year sponsored by Amy Johnston and hosted, who is just the event queen. She's going to do our kickoff happy hour event at an outside venue in Nashville.
The night before.
This is the night before, Tuesday, May 16th. And so she's going to talk about how to make the most of in-person events. Like all you introverts that are all nervous about putting yourself out there and meeting new people, like this is your place. She's going to give you some really great tips on how to confidently like show up and how to go up to that group of 3 girls talking and you're like, oh, I have to like bump in and introduce myself. Like she's going to kind of walk you through some of the best tips in making those lasting relationships and really getting the most out of your investment. Like you don't want to come to a thing like this where you've spent this money to come and then, you know, like not meet anyone because you were too nervous. So she is going to like totally put you at ease. You're going to meet familiar faces, you're going to hang out, you're going to play, and then you're going to have somebody that's like a seatmate for the next morning. So next morning, kick it off, grab a coffee, shop the marketplace.
Swag bags. Grab your
swag bags.
Swag bags were damn good.
Swag bags are going to be great. That we are notorious, like famous for our swag bag selection. We're going to kick things off with an intentional kind of setting mindfulness speaker, Asia, who's wonderful, and we're so excited for her. Hillary Krieger, one of our best friends, is going to be the MC this year. So she's going to kick it off. We start with like our keynote and then go into breakouts and roundtables and lunch. And once things kind of get moving and grooving after that, like first keynote, then breakouts are you're in a group, you're moving throughout the venue, listening to different speakers. And then once that speaker's done as a group, you all move to the next speaker. And this year we've extended their time to be more talking plus work time. So they've budgeted into their presentation time to give people to do actual pen to paper work, ask questions, give feedback. So that's going to be really nice and a really good use of time. And then roundtables, like we talked about before, are about 18 different topics where you get a list ahead of time and you kind of have to, you know, kill some of your little darlings and decide who you want to go to. And you kind of hop. We'll have a 20-minute timer that will go off and you get to listen to different presentations and what's going to best serve you. We've got some awesome panels this year that we're doing. And then day 2 is similar style, but just a couple more different panels, different keynotes. Kat is one of our keynote speakers this year. She's going to close the show for us. And then we close with our epic champagne toast to celebrate everyone. And then one of the things different this year is everybody goes home, changes their outfit into their fun like party outfit, comes back to Clementine, and it's completely transformed into a Broadway honky tonk. We've got a live band coming, we've got drinks, we've got appetizers, we've got sweets, and we just get to have a big girlfriend dance party, Nashville style.
So fun. I love it.
Yeah, so that's something a little bit different. So that's what really you can expect. You can expect a ton of learning, a ton of new friends, and just a really fun escape to like fall in love with your business again.
So where does everybody find more information and find out? I know you guys just closed out the payment plan. So tell everyone where to find, where to sign up, where to find more information, Instagram, all that jazz.
Yeah, so you can get the skinny on the schedule, the accommodations, where to buy your ticket at ultimateproductparty.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Ultimate Product Party for all the behind the scenes, the giveaways, we share it all to get you guys excited and ready to come to Nashville and meet all of our speakers. We've been doing speaker UPP takeovers, so day in the life, kind of get a more intimate who these people are that you're going to be learning from.
That's smart. I love that.
It's been really fun. Yes.
So one last thing, how many spaces do you still have? Because I feel like there needs to be some sense of urgency here for those who are listening.
Limited seats only.
We have 5 left.
5 left.
Really? 5?
Your name on it. No.
If there was 5 left, we would not be here promoting that.
I'm like,
you're like, shit. No, we're over halfway sold out, but there are still plenty of opportunities to grab your ticket. They will be closing end of April. Then we're shutting it down. So we can really get ready, give all of our vendors final numbers and all that, fun, exciting things that go in. So yeah, all the last minute people that are going to road trip to Nashville. Let's go, people. Giddy on up.
I'm so excited for you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It was so great to catch up with you guys and hear about the new event, because I am so envious that I will not be there.
You never know. Never say never.
Never say never.
Just walk on in. You're welcome.
Hi. Just rolling through Nashville.
You're here.
You're all Google Maps, Clementine Hall.
Yes.